Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney Grayton, and in this video I'm going to be taking my clients to Strand Twist starter locks from that to this. If you want to see how I do that, just keep on watching. Let's get into this wash, but I wanted to keep the sound on just so y'all can hear him scream.
Cold there. Cold there.
Like, why do you want the water ice cold? Yep, so we are washing his hair with ice cold water. I started off with some anti-dandruff shampoo from Head and Shoulders just because he has some flaking. He plays sports and I just wanted to make sure his scalp was free of all flakes and dandruff, and also this shampoo helps to prevent that. So I start with two shampoos. I started with that dandruff shampoo, and then I'm going to go in with the moisturizing shampoo after that. And then once that's all rinsed out, I will go in with the conditioner as well. And I do condition locks. I know there is a lot of mixed information out there about that, but the way your locks will get dry so fast, I would never miss and skip the conditioning process. Even if I only keep it on there for a few seconds, I'm going to condition those locks. So we're all done. Let's get into his hair after we're done washing. The water from the wash has definitely caused them to shrink and swell up a whole lot. But you can see that the two-strand twist look is pretty much gone. I'll show you the technique in a little bit that I use to get rid of the two-strand twist look, because I know a lot of people have that issue. They don't really want their starter locks to look like twists for a really long time. And my technique of retwisting helps to get rid of that. And they'll look like locks very, very quickly. After moisturizing his hair with the lightweight butter, I am going to go ahead and clip it up so that I can work on the first row. He has brick parting, so you're going to see how I work to clean up those parts as well. Throughout this retwist, you will see me kind of switch back and forth between the palm roll as well as the comb retwist. And that's really because with starter locks, they kind of vary in the amount of new growth there is at the root. And loose hair, sometimes it's unraveling, sometimes it's new growth. And so sometimes I will use the comb versus just the palm roll just to get a very clean look. And there's really no rhyme to reason to it. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I can pretty much get the same result with both techniques, but the comb definitely will help me go faster sometimes. And so you'll see me switch back and forth between the two. I am applying the product to the root and then using the comb to just smooth it out and work it into the root before I retwist. And then you can start to see that technique that I was talking about. I'm using the wrapping technique. And once I switch to the different angle, you'll be able to see that technique a whole lot better. You can see that I'm using a considerable amount of clips because with that shrinkage, most clients want to see the length of their locks. And so I use the clips to stretch them out while the hair is drying to get a lot of that length. Now, during the next month before he comes back, his hair will most likely shrink again, but just when he gets out the chair, I like my clients to feel like they got some length, and clipping the locks all the way down together definitely helps to stretch the locks and get that length back. As I'm working, the butter you see on my hand is melting on my hand, and so it ensures that the product is not too heavy as I'm applying it, and it'll definitely melt down even more under the dryer. As I mentioned before, from this angle, you'll be able to see a lot better the technique that I'm using. And first, you'll see the comb retwist there at the root. That's going to get it nice and flat. And then I'm using that wrapping technique, using my left hand to pull the frizz away from the lock. I'm left-handed, by the way. And then using my right hand to wrap it back around. And because he has two-strand twists and sometimes the ends will unravel, you saw me very quickly just retwist the ends back. Now I'm going to speed it up and just show you the rest of the retwist this way, and then I'll come back at the very end when I'm styling to walk you through the barrel twist style that we did. we are out from under the dryer, you can see the clips really help to stretch his hair out. So his locks are looking longer. And then that wrapping technique helped to contain a lot of that frizz. I'm so sorry for my shoulder being in the way, but I promise when I get to the middle barrel, you'll be able to see a lot better what I'm doing. But the barrel twist technique is very simple. I'm sure there are a lot of tutorials here on YouTube, but I'm going to give him 3 barrel twists and just pull him to the back. As I mentioned, he is an athlete and he wears a helmet. So this style is going to help it to be comfortable under the helmet. You can start to see here that I'm pulling a lock from the left and wrapping it around, and then a lock from the right and wrapping it around also. And then I'm going to secure his ends all the way down to the end so that nothing is hanging out and it can just stay neat and out of the way. Going to secure that with a rubber band and move on to the next one. When you're doing barrel twists, you also want to make sure that you're slightly making them a little loose because they will tighten up as the client goes home. And then here is the middle one where I'm taking a twist from the right, a twist from the left, and wrapping them all the way down. It's a very simple technique, but I love this style for starter locks because it holds them in place, it helps them to bud faster, and your client doesn't have to worry about styling their hair at all for the next 4 weeks. I'm going to spray that with some shine oil to just seal it all in. And just to recap, here were his locks right after washing. And then let's go ahead and get into these final results. Bam! Looking real clean and nice. Love that. And thank you for watching.